Rajeev Mantri, the Managing Director at Navam Capital, joins us on the show. Rajeev, hi, good afternoon. Good to be speaking with you. It's been a while, but I wanted to begin and talk to you about that latest thing that is spooking the market. And I'm sure you've guessed it. It's the latest regulator action, or at least the nudge coming in for the broader markets, maybe in terms of regulating the inflows, maybe in terms of regulating the redemption, as well as the disclosures. What do you make of it?
Thank you for having me again, and good to be back on the show. So I think we should wait and watch, what shape and form this regulatory action or regulatory suggestion takes. But having said that, I mean, there was no question that there's some frothiness in some pockets of the small cap and mid cap segments. And I think a lot of commentators and observers and market participants have been advising caution for last few months on this count.
And is that what your stance is well in terms of your portfolio allocation? Are you churning it a bit, booking profits out of mid cap and small cap and putting it in large caps?
No, so I would not like to comment on anything that we have been doing or not doing. But in general, I do feel that there has been, some heady valuations seen in those segments. So it is always advisable to sort of be very careful when the market is in this territory.
Okay, fair enough. But let's talk about some themes. And let me ask you, Rajiv, which are the themes that you like in the market right now? For instance, PSU as a basket has done stellar in the last 12 to 18 months. Do you expect more legs to the rally when it comes to PSUs, or that is a space as well which is getting frothy?
So talking about the whole public sector enterprises and that segment, obviously I think what could be a trigger after elections for this area is the implementation of the privatization policy. So for the first time, we have had a notified privatization policy issued by the government of India, and the government has stated that government will completely exit certain sectors. So now that this is taken on record and official policy, the implementation of this policy could see large scale disinvestments and privatization happening. And if that were to be the case, then I think many of the public sector enterprises who are sitting on very large and substantial asset bases, they could see significant re-rating. And I don't think that if it goes in that direction, I don't think the story has fully played out yet.
So the story perhaps has not fully played out. There's more to that. But which are those emerging themes that you're watching out for, Rajiv? Of course, recently we have not only seen a lot of IPOs, but there have been QIPs as well. There have been these block deals and the churns that are happening as well at the promoter level or the large holding levels. Anything that's caught your interest as a theme, or anything that you have liked in the entire churning of these portfolios?
So I think metals and banking stocks are in certain of these categories are looking very attractive, and it also plays into the larger theme of the privatization policy that one hopes to see in the coming few years if this government comes back into power and pushes their policy.
Yeah, and if I have it right, Rajiv, you have been a big follower of this entire energy transition scheme as well, right? You have been backing it through Ather Energy, if I have it right as well. Do you want to talk to us a bit about that, as to how you are looking at that space?
So the electrification of the whole transport segment in India, I think, is one of the most important energy transition stories anywhere in the world. We have already, or probably by the end of this calendar year, will have entirely electrified our railway system, which is a tremendous achievement. I think to deliver that on that scale and the compounding savings, the recurring annual savings that it will achieve for us as a country, I think it will have a tremendous impact. And then we all know what's been happening with the four-wheeler and two-wheeler side. There is a range of new products coming on from the car manufacturers, from the two-wheeler makers, and there is a very vibrant environment there as well for vehicle electrification. And this goes hand in hand with the build out of the renewable energy generation infrastructure in the country. So as we have more renewable energy generated through solar, wind, hydro, and other avenues, including nuclear, I think that will tie in very nicely with the electrification of transport.
Okay, fair enough. But Raji, what's your view on healthcare? Because that's been one of the segments where we have seen a lot of investments, both on the unlisted and listed side. There's a lot of interest around that, given since COVID, the entire spend per user in terms of your healthcare needs has actually gone up. Is that a theme that you like at this point of time, or you have been working around it? Anything that that has caught your attention?
So healthcare, I think one of the challenges for all healthcare in India, including healthcare services as well as pharmaceutical development and innovation in drug development. I think one of the challenges we have in India is as a society, we are not very accepting of expensive or higher end services. And time and again, we've seen different governments come in and clamp down on the cost of both the services as well as the products. So I think this sector is generally very prone to regulatory kind of interference, and wherever there is kind of outsized profits being made by whether it's a product company in the pharma space or even in the services space, I think frequently we see regulatory action. So that's always a challenge with this industry.
Challenge with this industry and a lot of other industries as well. You don't know what will come your way. And case in point being what happened with Paytm as well, right? Rajiv, you're very close to the startup ecosystem as well. What kind of impact do you see as far as the fintech ecosystem is concerned, as the startups are concerned, with the kind of recent challenges, if I can call it that, from the policy side of things?
No, I think at a broad level, I think the government's commitment is very firm on bringing technology into all spheres, into all industries. That includes the financial services industry. So there could be certain episodes here and there in different areas, but I think the broad direction is very clear. And frankly, there's no turning back from it. I think India has shown what embracing technology can do in areas like payments and other financial services, as well as I think at this point we are seeing it in every facet of our economy, be it agriculture, be it retail, be it logistics, even obviously defense and security. So I feel the government will stay on that path and don't see too much of a deviation from it. And there's not too much cause for concern, is my view.
Okay, not too much cause of concern. The government is still very committed to the cause of financialization. And Rajiv, just before I let you go, how are you playing the entire consumption theme and the affluent consumption? Because that K-shaped recovery that everybody is talking about, whether in terms of travel demand, whether in terms of luxury good, is clearly panning out. Is that a space where you have increased your allocation one way or the other?
No, so if you look at the lodging sector, hotels and lodging, I think business travel will escalate further. Like, I don't think business travel has come back to the levels where it was at. And once business travel comes up, then we will see further pressure on the supply side. Because so far, what we've seen is more kind of demand coming in from leisure and kind of holiday-based travelers. So I think once business travel picks up, there will be even more pressure on some of the lodging suppliers to kind of meet that demand. And that makes for obviously a very interesting period for them to kind of make hay while the sun shines.
Okay, while the sun shines, not a great time perhaps for consumers like us, because we'll have to pay a lot more, expensive room rates. But thanks so much,
No,
Rajiv, for
no,
making
but
time. Sure.
on that count, obviously there will be more entrants and more supply coming in, right? So that's the natural balancing which will happen.
Yeah, but of course, there's always that time gap of a few years between the
So
supply catches up to demand, and
that
that
could
is where
happen,
they'll
yes.
make hay, as
It
you
could
said,
take
while the sun shines.
Yes, it could take some time for large enough supply to make a dent. That's right.
Okay, on that note, I'll let you go. Thanks so much, Rajiv, for making time and speaking with us.